Season 47, War number 4, and we are up against CIRR. And this time my team will be Silk, Venom and Onslaught. I will be taking Path 5 in Section 1, Path 8 in Section 2, then I will be taking the Gorr, Absorbing Man, Adam and Kindred mini-bosses, as well as that Onslaught boss using Silk. So once again, a war that we are not really taking that seriously, so I decided to take some more fun fights with my team and brought in Venom as well, especially for that Kindred on the Stunning Reflection mini-boss node, but more on that once we actually get there. Up first here we have a Sasquatch on the Ebb and Flow knockdown and right back added nodes, and I am taking the fight with Onslaught. The rotation will be the usual Special 1, Special 2, and the fight should be over quite quickly doing so. Now Onslaught is one of the better options for these Path 5 nodes in general, especially with the right back added node, making the defender debuff immune whenever they are knocked down. The reason for that is whenever the opponent is immune to or shrugs off one of Onslaught's personal debuffs or the parry stun, he will inflict a passive version instead. And the passive stun on the parries allows those long pauses on every parry heavy you throw, making him easier to play as well. Now I'm already used my Special 1 here, I got about a half a ramp up going in, and now I just go for a heavy Special 2. Well, I was trying to, but I missed the heavy attack entirely by using my Special too early. Luckily though, Sassy was nice enough to throw his special immediately, allowing me to pause the degenerations real quick before they managed to expire. And now I just gotta keep doing parry heavies, let the degen do the work, and the fight will be over in a few seconds. And just to speed things up a little bit more, I threw my Special 1 here to increase the degeneration damage due to the daunted effects, and Sasquatch just melted. And like I said, Onslaught is one of the better options even for that specific matchup as well. You just have to remember that when the Wrath triggers, Sassy will be immune to stun effects in general, and that includes the passives, so don't try to rely on parries when that happens. Now here we have a Nick Fury on the Ebb and Flow knockdown and heavy hitter nodes, and I am taking this fight with Venom. And honestly, Onslaught would have been the better option to use here, but I wanted to get some more use out of my Venom just for fun. And well, so far the fight has not gone too well. Now Venom doesn't exactly counter Nick Fury in any meaningful way, you just need to play around his abilities yourself and then hope for the best, which isn't exactly that easy to do, especially with the heavy hitter node combined. And that means I need to get my openings with either parries in the first life, baiting specials or intercepting. And when Nick Fury is in his second life, he's stun immune, so that removes one of the options. Overall, I am very used to Nick Fury's animations and how he works, so I didn't think the fight would be that bad, provided I can actually land my intercepts properly. And here I accidentally hit him just once, mismanaging the tactical charges, resulting in that unblockable Special 1, which I failed to dex. Now, I'm sure many of you have seen me dex Nick Fury Special 1s consistently, many times. However, it's not a full dex that I do. I still block 2 hits of the Special 1, which kinda gets screwed over if Nick Fury is fully unblockable, and the full Special 1 dex is something I cannot do consistently, at least yet. I haven't really practiced it lately, but I'll get to that at some point, I guess. Either way, the matchup wasn't really great, I didn't fight it well, but I did get the fight down without losing all of my health, which is nice. And then, already on to the next fight, here we have a Scorpion on the Inevitable Power Efficiency node, and I am taking the fight with Silk. Now Scorpion, a tactic defender, makes it a little bit scarier, but overall his health pool is very small, and the evade gets shut down by Silk's slow debuff, allowing me to just ignore everything, not even beta special, go for the Special 2 nuke, and the fight is over in just over 20 seconds. Not much else to say about that one. Now even if he had thrown a special 1 or 2, Silk's auto evade would have handled it, and once again the slow debuff would have prevented him from evading any of my basic attacks following afterwards. And then, next up we have a Hulkling on the inevitable power efficiency, a rich get richer, and force of will node, and I am taking this fight with Venom. You probably wouldn't consider Venom, well, ever for taking this matchup, but as you can see, he works very well. He gets way more unique buffs than Hulkling does, so he will get the benefit from the rich get richer node, and his damage just completely melts Hulkling's health bar here. The fight didn't even last 30 seconds, I did get to heal up a little bit back from eating his buffs, at the very least until the power efficiency passive was activated due to the node, since, well, it does make the defender immune to nullify. Either way, the matchup went a lot better than I thought. It was a lot easier to manage, and yeah, Venom's damage, if you get good crit RNG, is just insane. Then, next up here we have a Gorr on the high energy diet and burden of might miniboss node, and I am taking the fight with Silk. Now, probably not the first option most of you would think when looking at this matchup, but Silk is actually a great option. The main reason for that is the burden of might node will not ever be a problem here when using Silk, because she does not gain buffs. She doesn't benefit from the dexterity mastery, and that is essentially the only buff she would ever get normally on this fight. Now, the other thing is the auto evade for the special 2s. If you happen to push Gorr there, like I did just now, you don't have to worry about trying to full dex it or eating it or any of that. The auto evade will just handle it, and that's about all there is to that. Then the last real problem with Gorr is of course its regeneration, which is something you can't really deal with using normal champions. However, an awakened Silk can reverse the healing with Despair as well as the slow debuff from her Sig ability. So the game plan here, go for the special 3, triple Fury rotation, and just nuke him down. The regen is completely blocked here since you can't reverse it on this node, and the damage is just, well, it's pretty nuts, to be honest. I didn't even get to use the special 2, and Gorr was already dead, and the special 2 itself would probably have dealt enough damage to kill him all over again. Overall, the fight did go very well. And now, next up we have an Absorbing Man here on the Hazard Shift, Incinerate and Poison node, and I'm taking this fight with Onslaught. Now, once again, this matchup isn't exactly the first you might think when looking at an Absorbing Man, and for good reason. Onslaught doesn't necessarily do anything to counter him. However, thanks to the Incinerate debuffs on the Hazard Shift node, I can completely skip Onslaught's special 1 for the ramp up, rush straight to special 2, and then drop it for the regen, keep it up with heavies, and that's about all there is to it. As long as I can get my heavies in to pause them, this fight would have been over relatively pain-free. However, I did not know that I can't really heavy punish his heavy in the corner. He does have enough recovery time to throw a special, which he did, and that allowed the degeneration effects to fall off. That's alright though. Now it just means that this fight lasts a little bit longer. I'm just gonna build up to another special to throw it, and then once again try to just keep them paused until he's dead without actually screwing it up this time around, and the fight went down without any even bigger problems. If I see the matchup there again, I might consider taking it. It's honestly not a difficult fight at all. It's just, well, don't get cornered and you should be good to go. And then next up we have an Adam Warlock here on the power efficiency and missing in action miniboss node, and I am taking this fight with Silk. And once again, this matchup is something that I wouldn't really consider taking under normal circumstances, but I wanted to see how it would go, and I do trust in Silk's damage output. Now, just using Silk, I have a massive confidence boost just due to the auto evade safety net and her insane reach with the special 3 rotation. So I'm not concerned here at all. However, since I don't want to die even by accident, I did throw on the invulnerability boost in case Adam gets to his special 3 at any point in the fight, which with his power gain and the power efficiency node is not that unlikely to happen. And that said, he is being very trigger happy with his specials here, which is nice. Now the biggest problems here are the power efficiency node and the pod that Adam triggers on his special 2s. If you get unlucky, you can get to a very unfortunate chain of special 2 spam from Adam, which can result in some, well, not so fun times. You can very easily get cornered with the falter and the special 2 spam, and there's just not much you can do to get out of that once you get there. So here I just went to my special 3, and now I'm just going all or nothing special 3, triple fury rotation. Even though Adam will trigger his pod here, I do trust that Silk has the damage to finish him off, and she does. If she didn't, I would have eaten a special 3 at the end there, which wouldn't have killed me since I'm a 7-star rank 3 and somewhat boosted, but it would have hurt quite a bit since I did drop my invulnerability boost just before. Anyways, next up here we have a Kindred on the Stun Reflection and Polka Power Mid-boss node, and I am taking the fight with Venom. And this fight right here is the only reason I decided to bring in Venom for this war. I just saw this matchup, decided I wanna use Venom, and then I did my path planning around that. And basically, I just like using Venom for Kindred. He's not really a great counter, so to say, but he does work very well, simply because of how insane his reach is with his light attacks. You can see me easily punish the special ones here with light attacks, even from great distances, and still get the pause on those infestation charges, and yeah, Kindred just got completely melted. I did make a mistake at the end there. I didn't throw my special when I should have, and I did get comboed because of it, but Kindred didn't even gain enough charges to start triggering the degenerations, just due to how easily Venom was able to shut that down. And that just goes to show that Venom is the best science champion in the game. And now we have the final fight of this war, an Onslaught boss that I am taking with Silk. And to be honest, going in, I knew this matchup wouldn't be that great, and that is because Onslaught specials take a long time. Silk doesn't have any way to mitigate the Neuroshock damage, and Silk's damage is really hindered here due to the stun immune node on the boss node. So all that together, and you get a very long fight with a lot of special dexing and special baiting, and overall just not a fun time. However, as I said previously, I get a massive confidence boost when using Silk, so I'm ready to take pretty much any fight that she is even remotely capable of doing, which is essentially what I'm trying to do here. Now, one thing that I didn't really consider when going into this fight is just how much damage those Neuroshocks would do during specials due to the Daunted passives I get from the tactic. And yeah, normally the Neuroshocks, they don't hurt that much, but the Daunted really makes a huge difference. Now, that said as well, I was thinking my damage would be a little bit better than it already is, or what it actually is, but I was, well, proven wrong, and yeah, so far I'm not really making too much progress here. So far I am losing the health race, and looking at the fight time, well, it's not going that well in that regard either. Now, one thing that I could do here to help a little bit with that would be actually punishing these special ones, which is something you can't normally do due to the amount of distance he puts between you. However, the route does allow you to actually do that if you do it right. There is the real risk of getting parried when you try to punish the special one, which is the reason why I didn't wanna do them here. If you are even a little bit too slow, that is something that can definitely happen, so I just try not to need to rely on that. That said, as you can see, almost half of the fight has already gone, and Onslaught is still just above 50%, and I'm not doing any better myself. So, looking at the timer, I decide, screw it, I need to play this a little bit riskier to actually get it down, and I start pushing Onslaught to his special 2s. and that is something that I haven't practiced at all. I have not done any practicing against Onslaught Special 2s. I only know the cadence of the hits from playing him offensively, and I just kinda wing it and go for the decks. As always, if I do mess it up, I do have Silk's auto evade to save me, but overall, the Special 2 isn't actually that bad if you just remember that your controls will be reversed when you dex it, so just keep that in mind, and it should be something you might want to practice as well, since it is a useful skill to have. Another Special 2, another full dex, and this time around I did actually remember to dash in properly, punish it. I got a combo in followed by a Special 1, and the fight is over with a minute and a half left in the clock, and Silk still standing at roughly 10%. So, overall, not a matchup that I would recommend, but definitely doable if you play it well and if you have a very beefy Silk of your own. As for the results, we did end up losing the war 33 to 67. The result was expected, but the amount of deaths was not, so I do hope we can cut some of those down going forward.